When they announced the tour, and it was such a massive tour, when it was 41 dates originally, that was just the European side of things. And the first date was in Belfast, which is a very cheap flight away from London. So I decided I am going to do the first date.
Well, there's an English fan, Pete, who came to a lot of, obviously you know Pete, yeah. He came to a lot of the European gigs, and you know, when I met him in Europe, he talked about, you know, coming to America and in a sort of dreamy-like context, you know, and he couldn't afford it and it wasn't practical and stuff. And yeah, sure enough, he showed up. Showed up in, I don't know, where was it? It was Boston, yeah, that was it.
I didn't even know about this gig tonight. Well, I saw Hoboken on the tour, and I didn't know where Hoboken was. It could have been anywhere. When I found out that it was New Jersey, that was it. And I booked the whole journey about 4 days before I set off. I didn't have anywhere to stay when I got here. I'd never been to the States before, but it was something I had to do, and I haven't regretted 1 minute of it. It's been absolutely brilliant.
At school, I want to be taken seriously, and I think I have valid arguments. I'm usually the only one in my women's studies classes who are arguing for porn, with the whole class arguing against. And I don't want them to, you know, not take me seriously or my comments seriously because of what I do. So in that sense, I would really prefer them not to. So however it's set up, however you're dressed, however your character is, whatever you're doing, you're already in character once you get there. So it never, I mean, it's very, my personality always comes through when I'm, because I can't, you know, if I want it to be as real as possible.
I was still nursing at the time. I was doing night duty and I'd go and do a bit of modeling in the daytime. Eventually I met a photographer who told me to keep my clothes on, and he gave me a job in a fashion magazine, Petticoat I think it was, and I started doing legit modeling. Thought, oh, I'm gonna be famous, la-di-da-di-da. Well, I did quite well, but you know, modeling is a really hard, you have no control over your destiny. You go and see people and they like you or they don't like you, but you're totally dependent on whatever they want.
We represent several different types of clients, and a lot of our clients are actual talent. And what we would do for the talent would be very different from what we do for some of the companies we represent. Starting with the talent we represent, the first thing that we do for them is usually they come to us because they're in a bad contract. They're in a deal with a company that has created a document that is so overbearing, so controlling, and so limiting, and you combine that with a lot of these companies that don't perform their end of it. So now you have a talent who's stuck in this contract, and it's bad enough being stuck in it, but now they're not getting the services that they're supposed to be provided from the company. So the first order of business we do when someone approaches us and says help, we go through their contract, find out exactly just how bad it is, and then we'll figure out what's it going to take to get them out of it. Then with directors, we do represent actually some larger companies doing things such as distribution or production end of it. Those services are just standard deal negotiations, contract review, things like that.